Hello everybody, welcome to the Sound Test Room. Today we are taking a look at the STARRYPAD by Donna. MIDI controller, perfect for your iPad, absolutely perfect for your iPad. Straight out of the box, you don't need to do nothing except connect it to your iPad via the supplied USB-C cable. You also get, I shall show you as well, a TSR MIDI breakout cable for MIDI out, and also a manual. And also you get this very cool and handy USB-C adapter here, which is great. Okay, so there is a desktop editor. If you're using this with your computer, you can, set different things for the pads. But because things like Koala do MIDI laying, Koala is the perfect app to show you this with your iPad. Okay, so 16 pads, 2 faders, and 2 knobs, 2 assignable controls, okay, and also transport controls, shift functions, which you can see underneath here for things like repeats and octave shift, transpose, all that other cool stuff you can do. You also have a note repeat button, of course, and once that's on, these pads will note repeat. I'll show you that when we set it up in Koala. Now, everything I've just showed you, you can times it by another 2. So for instance, the knob banks here, and then another set of knob banks, and then a third set of knob banks. Same with the pads, pad bank 1, pad bank 2, pad bank 3. So you can set all these different pads up for different pages, and the same with the faders, fader bank, 3 fader banks, so 3 knob banks, 3 fader banks, 3 pad banks, you're good to go. Now, as you can see, I have Koala here, the awesome Koala sampler. And it's absolutely brilliant. So if I, trigger a few pads here, I want to MIDI map loads of stuff to the STARRYPAD. It's incredibly easy to do that in Koala. All we need to do is open up our toaster icon here, go down to settings, go to MIDI, and here it says use MIDI mapping. And you can have it switched on or have it switched off. Now, I'm going to switch it on, obviously, and I'm going to go map MIDI. Now, you'll see all this stuff is now changed. Okay, so I am going to map these 16 pads. In fact, there's a couple of mappings there already, so I'm going to delete them like that. And I'm going to remap everything. So to map something in Koala, all you need to do is tap on what you want to map, and then hit the pad. And then we'll do this for all of these, like this. Super simple. This is absolutely brilliant for Koala. It's just so cool. What we done 4? Oh, I forgot to do that one. I'll do this. This one wants to be number 4. 5, 6. Let's do this. 7, 8, and then now I'm also going to map this volume control, which will be the volume control for anything that's selected here. So for example, I'm just going to tap on the volume like this, and I'm going to move this first fader K1 here like this, and now that's mapped. Now, just for now, I'm going to stop mapping, okay? And now watch. Let's select one and move the control. So now if I... And now all these... But you see, it remembers... the volume control for each. It's got a reverse. Now you'll also see that these pads are velocity sensitive. Let's make some adjustments to the volume of that. In fact, we'll go into our edit here and normalize this one. Now, to get velocity control to work inside Koala, you need to engage it. So you go to settings and is it in, enable MIDI velocity. And this also works the same as if you're using it with a MIDI keyboard as well. Okay, so top job. So now we have our first 16 pads mapped, right? So let's map some more stuff. So we've done with those. Let's go to pad bank 2. Nothing there. Let's go to B here and let's map these. So let's go into our mapping. So settings and map MIDI. So this one down here, we'll have for this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. And I'm going to map also, and there's a reason for this, I'll show you in a minute. I'm going to map these ones that haven't got any samples in as well. So I'm still going to go along and map all of these to our STARRYPAD. You can also map sample start, sample end, the pitch, etc., etc. Now I've mapped those to the first 3 pads. Right, I'm going to go to pad bank 3 here, and I'm going to go to sequence. You can see now why Koala is absolutely brilliant for this. You can map almost almost everything. Right, so we'll click on this first one here, and I'll map that to this pad. I'm going to map this one to this pad, this one to this pad, this one to that. I'm going to go down here and map this, a blank one, and a blank one. Doesn't matter. And then, of course, I could go over and map these as well. And then I'll run out of my mapping on the controller. But I think you'll agree that's an awful lot of stuff that you can map. Now we can map some knob controls. So let's go to our perform section here. And these are our buses, our bus mix, right? So we can go, well, okay, I'm going to map these two. I'm going to go back to pad bank. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm on fader bank A anyway. So I'm going to map this to this. I'm going to map this one to this one. I'm going to map this next one here to fader bank B. And also this one to fader bank B, second one. And we'll go over to our third bank of faders and we'll map that. So the main kind of level. All right. So very cool. You can also map other stuff as well. So if we go into our, let's see, our mixer. Sorry, that's our mixer. If we go back out of our mixer section, these are our momentary effects, right? So we can map some of those to the knobs. Now, don't forget we're using this first knob here as a controller for the volume. Okay, so let us say, well, I quite like the comb effect. So I'm going to map this to this controller and go to our second knob bank now, where both of these are clear. Quite like the dub. Yeah, reverb. Let's do this one. And then we've got another knob bank we can assign, say, whatever. We can assign like a compressor or the dirty, stuff like that, right? Okay. Now we've pretty much mapped everything, right? If we go to our play button here, if we use, the trouble is if we map it to this, right? If we map this to play, it's momentary, so you have to kind of hold it down like that. But if I used record to map to play, I can have it switch on and off. So for example, if I'll do this and I'll just use the record as a map to start the play, you'll see it stayed on, off, on, off. Can't do that with the others. Right, okay, so we're done. We can go stop mapping now. And what I'm going to do is go to we'll go back to our first ones, but go to the third one and you'll see that I've now triggered these sequences. Of course, we need to be running, so let's switch it on. Brilliant. Let's hit our next one here. And I have this set to wait till the end. So it's set to that now. You see here. And then stop. All right. Let's go back to, now this is cool. Go back to pad bank A. And without even changing screen, we can so you can say, oh, okay, well, I'm going to record. Let's switch our metronome on. We could probably map our metronome as well. Okay, so sorry about the quick cut there. It's because I was on the perform page. I can't hit record. Has to be on sequence. Right. So now we've done that. We've selected our pad that we want to record on. Let's close that. It's just MIDI editing. In fact, let's just delete that. Okay. Now we've selected this. If I press play, and it's giving me a count. Okay, so now all I need to do is arm record. So arm record, give me a 4-bar counting. Sorry, 2 bars. I had it set over 1 bar. So for example, let's set this over 2. Awesome stuff. Stop record while I find the sound. Okay. Coming with that snare here. Seeing it remembers the velocity as well. Let's go to our second bank. Let's do this with, I'll show you this in a sec. Let's record that, shall we? Let's give ourselves a 2-bar counting, sorry. Stop record. Cool beans. Okay, let's now look at, that's our second one. Let's look at our first, we can probably map them as well, but. So if I put no trigger on, okay. You can set up the note triggering like that. To set up note triggering, you hold shift and choose whichever trigger type you like. So for example, 1/32, hit that, come out of shift, go into note repeat. When you don't want to do that, switch it off and you're back to normal. Very cool. I'm going to set up maybe 1/32 triplet, which is cool. But I mean, more sensible ones are like 1/8, 1/16, quarter, 1/8, 1/16. So for example, for a perfect kick, we could do a quarter. See our volume. And it's cool because, and watch, if you watch also, the volume is remembered per sample. So for example, just as we'll turn that down. But if I go back to, you'll see the volume jumps back to where it should be. Awesome stuff. What else is I think that's it, guys, really. It's excellent. Anything that you can map MIDI to. And let's be fair, almost everything on your iPad is MIDI mappable. Drums, keyboards, whatever you want. If it's synths, you're playing them chromatically sort of thing. But like I said, if you do have a desktop, like a laptop or something, you have an editor for this that allows you to set notes, extra MIDI channels for different things. But for the iPad and anything that's MIDI lane, this is just ideal. It's small, compact, very light. Although it's made of plastic, it feels very nice and it looks quite sturdy. It will definitely fit in a bag with your iPad. You know, you'd be good to go sort of thing. Really cool stuff. I would genuinely say use it with a power pack as well, because I'm using this with a USB powered hub because of everything else going into the iPad as well. And it works absolutely fine. I did nothing. It just recognized everything. And it was easy, as you've seen, it was easy to map everything. There you go. Now, like I said, there is 20% off this on the 17th of November, starting with the Black Friday sales, which go on for 10 days. So I'll put a link in the description below for the US Amazon store and the UK Amazon store. Also, the Donna B1 Essential Bass Synth is also on sale, I think, from the 17th of November. And I'll put a link in for that as well, in case you want to go and check that out. Anyway, top job, cool beans, awesome stuff. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Consider becoming a patron and all of the cool stuff. And I will see you later. The Donna STARRYPAD MIDI controller. Brilliant for your iPad. Super easy to set up with something like Koala, as you've seen. Oh, that was one more thing before I go. One more thing. If you're still here, thanks. The MIDI mapping, right? This is really cool. Look, I'm going to go and change a project. So I'm going to load a new project in. I'll just go save that first. I've made a few adjustments. I'll go to, say, I don't know, my spectral guitars one. Like this, and it'll load. And you'll see that all the MIDI. Oh, this is set on keyboard. So let's do that. In fact, let's load another one because I want that left on keyboard. If I just load in, say, I don't know, TSTR Epic Synths, I'm going to go to, yeah, it's set on keyboard too. So I'm going to go to sequence. I am going to go back to grid, chromatic. So now I can go shift. Let me go shift, octave up. Oop, shift, octave up. Again. Because I'm in keyboard mode, I can play the keyboard sync. So there you go. Thank you very, very much for watching. I will see you later. Ta-ra.